Oh, great. I'm excited.
Hey guys, you can't see it because it's super clear, but here's the trophy that they are playing for. It's actually my trophy. They're just borrowing it. So, you know. So we've got a top 8 cut for you guys. We're going to have people that you haven't seen on stream today, but you've definitely seen on stream before.
We got Giovanni on Costa on that left side with Kyogre, Duskmane Necrozma, Incineroar, Ludicolo, Talonflame, and Gengar. Kainan Lee going with Dawn Wings Necrozma, Kyogre, Lucario, Amoonguss, Stakataka, and Incineroar.
Can I just say, this is the first time we've actually had the counterpart for Duskmane Necrozma on stream the same time as like its own counterpart. So I'm kind of really excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Dawn Wings has been really interesting. It's not exactly like the most beloved restricted because of the fact that it doesn't really have the fact that it loses Shadow Shield as Lunala, or like from that Lunala to that Duskmane Dawn Wings form, is really tough because, you know, it's weak to so many things. Lucario is going to be really interesting. I don't think we've actually really seen a Lucario around since, I don't know, 2016, 15, something like that.
Probably 15, yeah.
It's been a hot minute. But it'll be just kind of interesting to see how Geo kind of plays against this, especially because of the fact that, like, when you run against people who bring in very unique things, it's always kind of difficult to kind of understand how it might work.
And obviously it worked. I mean, she's in the top 8, so we're going to find out what that strategy really is. And she's going to send out Lucario and Duskmane. I'm sorry, Dawn Wings. I'm so used to saying Duskmane.
Excuse me, that is not a Duskmane.
No, I am so used to saying Duskmane. I don't know if you can tell. Giovanni going to send out Talonflame and Ludicolo.
Yeah, and so what's really nice here, so Ludicolo has access to Fake Out, and Talonflame has access to Gale Wings, which allows it to have priority Z-Move and priority Tailwind as well. So you've kind of got a lot of options here for your Geo, right? So I think you obviously can't, I don't think you can Fake Out Dawn Wings, because I think its typing is still Ghost Dark or something.
Or I think it's Ghost Psychic.
Yeah, something like that. But you know, you do have like the option now to kind of attack it with priority Z-moves as well.
So we got Follow Me on Lucario, which is a pretty decent strategy, but we're going to set Z-Crystal from Giovanni's side right off the bat. It's Flying EMZ, so it could be most likely it's going to be a Supersonic Sky Strike, but there is that chance of Z Tailwind. I've seen that. It's unusual though, but there's like, that Supersonic Sky Strike.
Z Tailwind for Talonflame doesn't really make a lot of sense. There's nothing that it can really handle that would be nice here. So the Follow Me is going to force it to go into Lucario, however, is going to be able to almost pick up a knockout, does reveal like
that Focus Sash right there, yeah.
And Hydro Pump.
That
outside of range.
And with that, there's the Lucario knockout right there. So now it's going to come down to Dawn Wings here. Now we're going to see the Trick Room come off of it. Yeah, it can't transform to Ultra Necrozma this format. This feels like a very very ultra format or ultra team for Kainan.
This is such a pretty weird, but yeah.
And we see that Kyogre come on out for Kainan. So now we kind of understand right off the bat that this is not going to be a choice Kyogre. Plus we saw that Trick Room, so Ludicolo is going to be the absolute slowest. So Kainan definitely set up that Trick Room in a perfect spot.
Like, what's really interesting is like Geo's team, like this is the same team he's kind of been running for all season, right? It also has a Trick Room mode, so he's probably going to be able to choose to like pivot here. Like Ludicolo is going to head and protect, but Talonflame is going to be okay going down possibly this turn as long as it gets some damage out. It is going to be the first Pokemon to move on the field, though. Interestingly enough.
Yeah. It's still full health.
Oh, you're right. So it's got priority Brave Bird here. It's going to lose that now.
Well, the Moongeist Beam is going to target the Ludicolo. It is not going to hit thanks to that Protect. We see the Water Spout from Kyogre as well, around 50%, but it is targeting Talonflame in the rain, and there's no way that that's going to survive.
But actually, I think if you're Geo, that's okay, because losing Talonflame allows you to bring in a Pokemon that's going to function a lot better in Trick Room. So I think we might either see his own Kyogre come in now and go for a Thunder, or we might actually see
Incineroar.
Yeah.
Now, Incineroar is actually pretty decent here because you can go for that Fake Out on the Kyogre, or you could go for a knockoff or something to hit that Dawn Wings. So you got plenty of options with Incineroar here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to just go for the Fake Out into Kyogre because Kyogre is still kind of like that big threat here. I think as long as you can stall out the Trick Room turns, you'll be able to kind of at least bring in something that can function a lot better. I mean, you did lose Talonflame, but you still have one more Pokemon at least in the back here. But goes for a knockoff straight
up. But it is the Dawn Wings Necrozma is going to take it, and we see that Z Crystal. There it is. It's a Ghostnium Z move.
I thought I would never see this Z-move dance ever again, or this animation.
And there we go. So here we go. Is it?
It's
still
malicious.
Menacing Moonrays Maelstrom. That is really fun to say.
Okay, speak for yourself on that one. Let's be real.
I like it. I like the name of it.
Yeah, Miguel sad too because he has to edit this part out. So.
Sorry, Miguel.
Yeah, so you can just talk about whatever here for now because it's not really gonna matter. Because
because
yeah, you can still see it, but you can't really hear stuff, right? Yeah. So, but I mean, like this Ludicolo is gonna get knocked out, but
it's still gonna be dancing in the end. Doesn't really matter.
yeah, I mean it's just kind of tough because what was really nice here is like that Gio predicted that the Kyogre was gonna switch out, was able to get the knockoff onto the Dawn Wings. He is gonna be forced down to his last two Pokemon here because of his own Kyogre. I mean it's not the worst position to really be in, but I think here, if you're running some sort of choice item on Kyogre, you're gonna have to decide right away what you're gonna lock yourself into, and I think Thunder actually wouldn't be a bad idea.
Thunder isn't terrible.
Because you got the Kyogre in the back, and then you can at least do some kind of crazy damage to that Amoonguss. But you do have to get rid of the Amoonguss now, because then this is going to happen.
Yeah, that Spore is going to definitely put a damper on things. We see it target that Incineroar, though I do think Giovanni can still pick up a knockout here with this Kyogre, but it's going to come down to what this Dawn Wings Necrozma does. Whereas these Psyshock, so obviously targeting the Kyogre, and using physical defense instead, gets it down to around half health. Water Spout, I think it's going to do enough. Yeah, it's going to do enough for that. Dawn Wings does okay on Amoonguss. Does around like 30% or so. It's not the best. Either way, both teams now down to their last two.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough because Gio is in the position where his Incineroar is asleep. He's going to be the second one fastest here, and that's kind of down to these two Kyogres. Kainan doesn't have her Kyogre really locked into anything. It has free range of attacks. Could go for a Thunder right now, but instead we've got a Grass Knot onto Gio's own Kyogre.
Which I'm a bit surprised we didn't see Spore instead, but because the Kyogre from Giovanni's side is going to survive, and Incineroar is going to stay asleep. But there's the Water Spout just to ensure the knockout there. And is going to get Incineroar down to 40 health, but it is going to survive. But, I mean, against a Kyogre, it's not in a good spot. Except we do have that Trick Room reversal. I don't know which one's faster.
Kyogre was faster than the Incineroar now because Incineroar was fast.
That's right.
We tried to wake up before the Kyogre moved
That's
in
right.
Trick Room. So I mean, speed tiers are kind of really important, and I think if you're Gio, you're kind of paying attention to that. So looking at Kainan's team, I think her Kyogre went actually after Gio's Kyogre, so that's also something to kind of keep in mind of that outside of Trick Room, she's got the faster Kyogre potentially, and he's got the slower one outside of Trick Room. So I think, you know, game one's kind of tough there because there was that Lucario with the Follow Me was kind of unexpected, I think, because it's been a very long time since we've seen something like that. And forcing yourself to be able to use both Hydro Pump and your Z move into a Pokemon like that is tough because then you lose a lot of damage you're putting onto Dawn.
So in this match, I'm thinking, you know, one thing with Giovanni though is he is really good at adjusting. Obviously, he's won multiple tournaments, and so that's one thing I'm thinking. Like when it comes to the adjustments, I wouldn't be surprised to see Duskmane Necrozma because that's going to be able to do some decent damage onto the Amoonguss, onto the Lucario, which were pretty hard things to take out from Kainan's side.
I think if you see either Duskmane or Gengar come into this match, I also wouldn't be surprised. Gengar does a lot, and like Gengar has been a very interesting Pokemon to see people use this season, especially with like sort of a Z Destiny bond, which, you know, the last Pokemon we saw use that was Mimikyu. So I think a bit of adjustment here on Gio's side. I think if we see the Talonflame being left behind, wouldn't be surprising. Z Destiny gone from potentially like from a Gengar would also, you know, make a lot of sense.
Yep. We're gonna see Ludicolo Kyogre first, so Giovanni starting with a fast lead here. While we have Kainan go for the same lead we had last time, Dawn Wings and Lucario. We do have the Drizzle first, but it's also the only ability on the field.
This is also going to be really tough because now you have to kind of play the game of is Dawn Wings carrying Wide Guard, and do you go for the Water Spout from the get-go, right? So obviously Ludicolo, oh my goodness, this is frustrating. Ludicolo's going to be the fastest thing on the field because of that Swiss ability, but the fact that Lucario has ability for Follow Me, now you have to make the choice of do you go for a spread move and risk having the Wide Guard on your opponent's side, or do you just target down one and allow Trick Room to be set up again? Because I think Kainan's setting herself up again now for another Trick Room setup, right?
Well, I'm actually thinking about it. I think the Water Spout isn't a terrible idea. You could fake out that Lucario and then Water Spout. Either they're going to Wide Guard and it's a wasted turn, or they set up Trick Room and get hit. But we're going to Nazi fake out. We're actually going to see Hydro Pump straight onto that Lucario before anything. And that Focus Sash once again activate. Yeah, no Follow Me. And Close Combat's actually the move. It's going to target the Kyogre. And it's going to go down to 88 health, around 40%. So if a Water Spout hits like it does, it's going to do less damage, but it will get rid of the Lucario, and Amoonguss takes it like a champ there.
That still did more to Amoonguss than I expected
Yeah.
at, like, at under 50% health. Which I guess, could be kind of indicative of exactly what that Kyogre is running. But, I mean, Ludicolo is still actually in a pretty okay spot because you can go for possibly Icing, you can go for Hydro Pump again. Rage Powder won't work on Ludicolo, and Spore won't be a thing right now because of the fact that, one, you're not in Trick Room, and two, Ludicolo is also Grass type. So, unless Kainan's Dawnwings is running Protect, you're kind of free to go into that Dawnwings spot. Unless she's faking out again and is going to switch out that Dawnwings.
Yeah. I don't know on this one. This one's interesting. I could see the Amoonguss going for a possible Spore, since that's, or Grass Knot on the Kyogre. One of those two, hoping that it survives, or it's going to swap here. I don't know what the better play would be.
Depending on what Gio has in the back, it's okay if he loses Kyogre this turn, right? Because
I think so too.
If Trick Room gets set up and he has something like Duskmane or Cosmo in the back, then he's going to be in an okay spot. But Hydro Pump hitting again is going to be really good for him.
That's going to do over 50% onto that Dawnwings and the Necrozma. We also see the Life Orb from Ludicolo, just pointing that out. The Water Spout is going to go next, and that's going to get rid of that Dawnwings Necrozma and gets Amoonguss down to 50% of health. And we're going to see the Grass Knot over Spore here. Will connect with that Kyogre, and that Kyogre is not going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's okay because I think if you're Gio, you're still kind of predicting your Kyogre going to go down this turn, right? So Kainan's like down the last two Pokemon. Amoonguss is one of them. We're probably going to have something like, does she have Incineroar is actually going to be on Gio's side. So you're able to at least fake out the Amoonguss and stop that, or stop at least the Kyogre. Right, and I think, obviously, if you're a Ludicolo, you're going to have a Grass type move to be able to deal with Kyogre, because one of the big things that we saw once this series, both Sun Series and Moon Series started, was that Ludicolo, instead of being like a partner all the time to a rain team, was a counter to something like Kyogre.
Yeah, it's a really good counter because you got that Grass Knot, and with the Life Orb, it is going to do enough damage to one-hit KO most Kyogres, depending on their defense and HP investments.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt we're going to see a Protect here from the Kyogre, and Amoonguss can't really do anything on its own against anything like this.
Well, the Fake Out's going to go onto that Amoonguss. It can't move, and there's that Grass Knot from Ludicolo. Going to connect with the Kyogre, and it is not going to knock out, so this Kainan's Kyogre is a bit bulkier. We see the Scald that's going to target the Incineroar, and in the rain, that is going to do enough damage to KO it, but...
Cats don't like rain, what are you talking about? Or water.
There you go, I never actually made that connection. But either way, Ludicolo still got the upper hand here, because one more Grass Knot or anything on the Kyogre is going to knock it out. Plus, we see this Duskmane Necrozma, which has a Psychic attack most likely for that Amoonguss.
Yeah,
so.
I think if you're Gio, it's kind of unfortunate because you don't want to reveal that you brought that Duskmane. I think you would have wanted to wait with that. I mean, the nice part about having Incineroar on that turn was you stopped anything like a Spore from happening with the Amoonguss into your Incineroar spot, right?
Yeah.
And then even now, you're going to have the fastest Pokemon on the side of the field. Even going for another Grass Knot here, you just, go for Photon Geyser into Amoonguss, and then you just have to hit Kyogre.
Yeah. And, Amoonguss now also gets a berry reveal there. It is the Payapa. It's Iapa and Payapa. It's tricky. Payapa, yeah, it's hard. But either way, it's a Psychic attack reducing berry. But that was actually not really good for Kainan because now we know the item on it, and it's still knocked out regardless, so...
Yeah, we're definitely going to go to a game.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the interesting thing is we did know that Gio was going to bring that Duskmane or Cosmo. We did see that Kyogre and the Incineroar still there. And I think it's always been interesting to see Incineroar on a team because it's such a good support and pivot Pokemon to be able to use. And in that moment, being able to use it just for that Fake Out to stop the Amoonguss from going for anything like a Spore or for I don't know, maybe an attacking move. It kind of at least allowed Amoonguss to not move that turn and then allowed attacks on Kyogre. Yeah. So I think here what was interesting is Kainan couldn't do anything kind of stop the fast move that was coming from Gio, right? You've got the Ludicolo and the Kyogre, both Pokemon that kind of showed themselves to be faster than what was on Kainan's side. And despite the Lucario having that Focus Sash, the thing is, Gio was able to get that firepower going immediately from out of the gates, and Kainan couldn't really do anything to stop it.
Now, I'm wondering if we're seeing Incineroar from Kainan's side. We haven't seen it yet. There have been the water types from Giovanni, but I still think it'll be useful with Fake Out to set up the Trick Room at least, if you can get into a better spot.
Yeah, I feel like Amoonguss in the first game was a really smart idea because there was nothing he could do to kind of stop the Spores. But I think in this game 3, I think I would question the use of Amoonguss.
Yeah.
Just because it's not going to be able to offer as much support, right? I think if you're Kainan and you want to try to get Trick Room up as soon as possible, you have both either Dawn Wings and Stack Attacker, because Stack Attacker could also carry a Trick Room, and if you have 2 Trick Room users on your team, and they both have an opportunity to set up, like, why wouldn't you take it? Right? Because then you force it 50-50.
Yeah. I'm thinking here, I think one of the tougher things for Kainan, though, looking at her team, is getting rid of that Ludicolo, because you don't really have anything super effective against it.
Ludicolo will get rid of itself as long as it
That's true. It does have that is very true. That is very true. Well, let's get into it. Let's see how this game ends up.
I mean, yeah, that game 2 was fast.
Yeah.
That game 2 was really fast, guys. Like, for Trick Room user teams, like, that was actually a pretty fast game, so.
Same lead from Kainan here, Lucario and Dawn Wings Necrozma. Incineroar and Kyogre this time from Giovanni, though.
I think what's interesting here is that we know that Kyogre doesn't knock out, actually, I don't know if we ever saw it use Water Spout on Dawn Wings, but
I don't know.
here...
I think we did, and I think it did not knock out.
So here's the thing. I think you go for Fake Out into Lucario, you go for Water Spout, and if Kainan thinks that she can hang on through Water Spout, you go for Trick Room, right? But if you do that, then if you're Geo and you predict that, you go for U-turn and you bring in your Dustman and Cosmo.
That's really smart.
Right?
Or you can maybe go for knockoff too, because I don't know if Water Spout knockoff would knock out, but I think
it would definitely knock out.
Oh yeah,
it
4 times weak. It's 4 times weak.
Yeah, because you don't have Shadow Shield here.
Yeah.
But then you have to be careful about the Lucario and the Follow Me. So I think you're kind of forced to go for a Fake Out into Lucario to stop that, because the Follow Me will have a higher priority.
That's very true.
So
this can go either way. This is a. There's the Follow Me, yeah.
Yeah, I think you couldn't go wrong if you had done something like that.
Follow Me, and there's the Water Spout from Kyogre. Giovanni seemed to know that Follow Me was coming, so...
Oh, never mind, it knocks out Dawn Wings.
It does knock out Dawn Wings. Okay, maybe... Oh, is that 50% of health then?
That's definitely game over.
Yeah, Incineroar going to U-turn, and both of Kainan's Pokemon are down.
So, yeah,
I don't... Well, there is one thing that might help Kainan. It obviously depends on what Giovanni brings out now. Yeah, I mean, if he brings Ludicolo, that's pretty much over. But we do know that her Kyogre might outspeed, and there it is, yeah.
I just, like, there's no point to not bringing Ludicolo in,
no,
like, at this point.
You
because
have to.
You deny Trick Room, you have Swift Swim, you know that Kainan, if she's running, because her team reads like a hard Trick Room team, right? So you know her Pokemon are going to be generally slower. Yeah. Even this Kyogre, I think it's faster than Geo's, but it's going to be slower than the Ludicolo on Geo's side. And he's still got that Water Spout. Sure, you have Fake Out, you can exchange Fake Outs here, but...
The only thing I'm thinking...
You can switch out Kyogre on Geo's side, protect your Ludicolo this turn, burn the Fake Out turn, and allow something else to get here. Because if you don't stop Kyogre, then that's okay. But if you protect the Ludicolo, you switch out Kyogre, you bring something in, you get rid of Incineroar, and then if you lose something else, you know. But
well, Ludicolo's gonna go for Fake Out, so no switches here. That's gonna target Kainan's.
We're gonna get a Fake Out.
Kyogre, yeah. Yep. Nothing happened. Okay. Maybe now would be the best time to protect that Ludicolo. You know what? I'm just thinking because Kainan might outspeed with the her Kyogre, and I'm just thinking.
If she doesn't protect Kyogre, Ludicolo is free to Grass Knot, and you can still go for Water Spout, right? Yeah.
That's true, but last time we saw that the Kainan's Kyogre survived.
So come down to a roll.
Ooh, okay. So see if this.
Water Spout's not gonna matter here. Yeah. Oh. Okay,
oh, so Giovanni outsped. Okay.
They possibly speed tied because when they were in Trick Room, Geo's was slower because it went after Kainan's Kyogre. I think something like that.
Oh, so if the Trick Room, then Kainan was fast. Okay, so well either way.
Anyway, that was a fast game 3.
That was a fast round in general.
Yeah. So
Giovanni moves on to the top 4.
Yeah, I will actually also congratulations to him because he did earn his invite after getting into top cut.
There you go. Congratulations, Giovanni. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I did tell him if he didn't earn his invite this weekend, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing on this life if he doesn't earn his invite today. So, is that count as being mean to him?
Miguel's yeah, maybe.
Yes, I'm allowed to do that, I guess. I try to be nice to him sometimes. It's really difficult. So. He's definitely going to use this against me later on when he rewatches this video. I'm just letting you know that 100%. So he'll be going on to top 4. So we'll see how that goes. Everybody else is still playing. I am going to go find some soda because I want some carbonation.
Soda's great.
Yeah. So in the meantime, don't go anywhere, guys. Or get some coffee, go to sleep, do something. I don't know.
This will be on YouTube later. You can go to sleep and watch them back. See you later.